Well, all right then. All right then. Here we are, back again. Back again. After a brief banishment, we are back on this fine Sabbath day. On the Sabbath. To jumpstart, to kick back off, to jump back in to all the big old debates we have on this channel. So, here we are again. Welcome back. Back to the kingdom of the ape. And y'all know that this is the channel where you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. But also, hopefully, to make the world a better place, to combat the rise of this ridiculous Christian nationalism, where a bunch of Christians are trying to seemingly force their doctrines onto everybody else. And some people don't like that, including me. But, you know, they're not all guilty of that. But we still, it's getting kind of crazy. Let's see. V Smash, hang out for just a second. And we are about to get the show started. We've only been on for like a minute, but hang out for like another minute and a half and I'll bring you up and we'll talk if you're a Christian and you're just trying to talk to me. Anyway, welcome in. It is the Sabbath. Don't forget, Dr. Joshua Bowen is our best friend on this channel, and he sells a bunch of books that you can learn some incredible stuff about the Hebrew Bible. And you can purchase them on Amazon, and you can support our best friend Dr. Josh and his awesome family. Also, don't forget that this October in Huntsville, Alabama, at 23rd, 24th, and 25th, the Rocket City Reason Conference is going down, and you can come hang out with some of the coolest atheists on the planet. And you can get your tickets for that at RocketCityReason.com. Now, we are back. We are back. So let's get the Sabbath rolling here, maybe. Let's see. Let's try the first person here. All right, we got V Smash and Robbie. B, are you there?
I'm here, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you over 18 and a Christian?
I'm Christian. I'm pro-Christian.
Okay, cool. What about you, Robbie? Are you over 18 and a Christian?
Yes, Christian.
Cool. So, B, which one of these topics you want to talk about here?
All of them are interesting, but we can talk about the first one for starters. And why do you think that God is unjust and cruel?
Well, I think he's unjust because he does unjust things like punishing the innocent for the crimes of the guilty, and the punishments don't match the crime. And I say he's cruel because the punishments don't match the crime. He does things like unaliving people for picking up sticks on the wrong day of the week. In 2 Samuel 21, he has a bunch of kids impaled on a hill, and that's pretty cruel, I think. So that's my...
So you're saying that God hurts people?
Yeah, unjustly.
For example, who did he hurt? I'm building up on something.
That's cool. So if I can give you an example where he hurts innocent people, you wouldn't worship unjust God, would you?
No, I wouldn't worship an unjust God. I wouldn't.
Okay. All right. Well, have you ever heard of what happened to David and Bathsheba's infant son?
Yes, I know David's and Bathsheba's story. What about it?
You got a lot of crinkling noise going on.
I'm sorry about that. What about
What do you mean, what about it? He unalives a baby for what David did. The baby was innocent. He killed an innocent baby.
Well, there's a verse in the Bible. I don't know if you're aware of that. that when a woman and a man lie together, they become one in flesh, and so they must marry, and therefore their children will be clean. But if not, their children will be unclean. So Bathsheba and David were not married, and therefore the
No, they
child.
were married. It says David took her as his wife.
But when did David took her as his wife? When did that
Don't matter.
happen?
The baby come after. It was before. So the baby came after they were married.
Oh, there's
Like part
also
of
a
the
verse that.
punishment, and the punishment, it literally says, you have despised me and taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. So he took her as a wife.
Yes, there's a verse also that says that the sins of the fathers and daughters will fall on the sins of the parents will fall on the sons and daughters.
Yeah, and there's another one that says, sons shall not be put to death for the sins of the father, nor fathers for the sins of the son. So which one are we going with?
Can you give me that one?
Yeah, it's Deuteronomy 24, verse 16. Parents shall not be put to death for their children, nor shall children be put to death for their parents. Only for their own crimes may persons be put to unalivement. Sorry.
Wait, could you read that? Well, I'm sorry. Can you reread that very first part of what you just said? That verse again?
Deuteronomy
Yeah.
chapter 24, verse 16. Yeah. Parents shall not be put to unalivement for their children, nor shall children be put to unalivement for their parents. Only for their own crimes may persons be put to unalivement. So it's just you just brought up a really good contradiction. Like it does say that God punishes people generationally to the fourth, fifth, sometimes 10th generation. And here you have a verse saying that's bad. So it's a nice contradiction.
Can I ask a
Just give me,
question?
just give me a second.
While he looks that up, and then I'll just take off.
Yeah,
Whenever he's
sure.
ready.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who
Go for it.
atoned? So, what is the cost of sin in the Old Testament? It's unalivement, right?
It depends. No, it depends on what the sin is. Sometimes you just pay a fine.
But what would you agree with? Generally, it's some sort of sacrifice, a sacrifice of
Sometimes
something.
it's a fine though.
I mean, that would be a sacrifice. A sacrifice. Um,
I mean,
so
sacrifice your fine, yeah, but a fine isn't technically a sacrifice.
yeah, but you're sacrificing money in a sense.
Okay, sure.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
I mean,
fine.
I'm not trying to like back it into like unalivement, but just all in all, you
Yeah,
are
I mean,
losing
I get it.
something for
That's
sin.
why I'm just agreeing with you. You can
Right,
say that,
right.
sure. I mean, it makes
So,
sense. So.
do you believe? So, I know we are talking about Old Testament, but obviously the Bible's contextual. When Jesus pays for our sin, why is he doing that? He has no reason to.
Um,
He's not supposed to atone for that.
yeah, well, he never even says your sin's going to be bought through his death. That's Paul says that after him. But the reason that Jesus does that is because people after Jesus thought that's what he was supposed to do after the fact. That's not why Jesus actually came.
I need to
Not
find
according
this.
to Jesus, anyway.
You may know this in Deuteronomy. I need to get this verse in the bag, but it's something you might know what I'm saying when I'm already saying it. It says, "For I am your Lord. Have I not bought thy? Have I not bought you? Have I not?" I don't know if that even sounds familiar right there. I need to remember. I just saw this in Bible study. But
I don't
the
think
re
so.
well, I mean, it's definitely a verse. I just don't remember what verse it is. But
Yeah, oh,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
that's what I
go with
mean.
something that's not I can't confirmly speak on. Um, but I'll continue. I don't know if you agree with this. With a Christian lens, do you believe Jesus is the voice of Yahweh in the Old Testament? If you were to put a Christian lens on,
Not in the Old Testament. I would in the New Testament.
so when you look at Mark 24 verses 44 through 45, I don't know if you're familiar with that. When he says
What's New
the
Testament?
words I spoke unto you while I was yet, well, yeah, but he's referring to the Old Testament.
Sure.
He's
Yeah, it does
saying,
very
I'm the
well.
one who spoke to you while I was yet with you, for then you may understand the scriptures. But that's why I was saying, do you agree with, as a Christian lens? Clearly, I know you don't believe in any of it, but if you believe Yahweh is the voice of Jesus, the word in a sense. But I was just going to tie it
Yahweh's
back
Yahweh.
into Who is Yahweh?
Yahweh's just the God of the Israelites.
Who's the God of the Israelites?
Yahweh. The Alpha and
Is
Omega,
Yahweh
the
a
one and
title,
only,
or
the creator of all. That's
what is
Yahweh's a name.
what does Yahweh signify? God, right? What is God?
Yahweh
As a
is God's
Christian,
name, yeah. Is the Alpha Omega, the creator of the universe, the first and the last, the one and the only. Even though he's not the one and the only.
so Yahweh's the creator. I agree
Can
with
you hear
you.
me, guys?
Yahweh's the Word, and Yahweh would also be the Spirit, the three
Right,
in
right.
one, right? So
Sure,
it,
sure, but I don't. How does this relate to God being unjust and not allowing an innocent baby here?
it's probably not. I'm probably definitely going way off topic. I won't. My apologies. I don't mean to do that.
Okay, it's okay.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah.
I'll
Can
let you
I?
go. My bad.
Yeah, I was just mad. I thought maybe he
Can
was
I?
going somewhere with that, but it was.
I
Yeah, go ahead,
was,
Can I
but
come back on the topic?
What?
Uh,
Yeah, go
can
ahead.
you hear
You
me?
got the stage. Yeah, yeah.
All right. As a matter of fact, David did commit adultery because
Yeah, I know that.
he took another man's wife,
Yeah, you
and
know who didn't commit adultery?
and
The infant
hey,
who
just
got made
give me,
sick for a week and unalived.
give me a chance. So David
Okay.
didn't. David committed adultery because he was a public figure, God's representative, and so to God, it was giving. David was giving the other nations permission to blaspheme by what he did. So he even made an example about this man who takes somebody's a poor man's lamb, a man who takes a poor man's lamb in Second Samuel chapter 12. Can we read second? No, never mind, never mind. Even if we don't read it, but yes, the result of the judgment was adultery, and God had to make a public example since David was the king of Israel.
Okay, so was the baby innocent or guilty of the crime that it was executed for and made to suffer for?
David was guilty, therefore it's David's seed.
I asked if the baby was guilty or innocent, not David.
Yes, the baby was unclean, so the baby was guilty.
So you're saying as a Christian, this baby was guilty and it deserved to be punished because David committed adultery.
Well, the baby was not punished. It's just that the baby
The baby
died.
was punished. It was made ill, very ill for a week, and then it died. The baby was punished. David didn't receive a scratch, not a single scratch for this.
Oh, okay. No, I remember now. Yes, the baby, like I said, the baby's unclean because of the judgment. Therefore, yes,
Okay,
the
so you're
baby.
saying the baby was guilty and the baby had it coming because David committed adultery.
Yes, since it is David's seed.
There you go. Okay. So as a Christian, it is your position that murdering babies that are innocent of the crimes they're being murdered for actually makes them guilty because God did it.
Well, I want you to look at it. I want you to look at it in this sense. If um if your child
Yeah, but could you just
goes
say,
to,
could you just state for the record that as a Christian, you think this innocent baby being murdered is okay because God did it?
some questions shouldn't be answered like that because they are trick questions leading the topic
It's
to
not a trick.
confusion.
It's what you said. You said this baby is guilty and it's unclean. So you're saying it's guilty of the crime that it was executed for. So as a Christian, could you just state for the record, just so everybody's clear here, that the babies are guilty and they deserve to be murdered?
Yes, if babies are made in adultery, yes, the judgment will be there.
Okay, there you go. As a Christian, thanks for coming up, B. You certainly did your part today. I appreciate that. So there's the Christian position. The babies had it coming. Well, we're back. We're starting off with a bang, aren't we? Goodness gracious. Anyway, we got a queue full of people here. So let's see who was next here. Let's try Christ.
Y'all did. I 100%
Hey,
agree, man.
hey,
What?
you're over 18 and a Christian?
Yes, sir. 32, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So you agree with him that the baby was guilty and had had it come?
Yeah, I agree. God, when he murdered the babies, if he would allow them to live, they were Israelites, and they were sacrificing blood, like blood sacrifices, and doing altars and idols, and they would have became sinners.
So what did the baby?
What the hell?
So the baby would have became a sinner if it grown up.
Absolutely, that's what it says in the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. From the Christian perspective, murdering babies is okay because they might grow up.
Because they're pure, yeah. Babies are pure. They don't know.
Well,
what
they got
sin
free
is.
will, so they might grow up and use it, right? That'd be a bad thing.
No, if you keep reading, God said He saw in their hearts that they would be wicked. So
It doesn't
if
say
He
that
killed
about this
them,
baby.
they go to heaven. Yeah.
So the wicked baby gets to go to heaven?
No, a baby. How is a baby wicked, man? There's no sin in them.
Yeah, I know. Babies are innocent to me, but you're sitting here justifying its murder by saying it would be mean when it grows up.
That's why they went to heaven, because they don't know what sin is. There's age accountability, you know.
Oh, so they didn't inherit sin.
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, babies are pure.
Oh, okay.
You ever looked at a baby's eyes?
It's crazy how many Christians come up here and say this baby murder was okay and justified. This is unreal.
No, it's what the scripture
We've already
says.
got two
It's
today.
not my word. It's what the scripture says.
Oh, well, I know the scripture says that.
In
It doesn't call it just, actually.
Have you read the book of Exodus?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then you would know. It says God saw
So
in their hearts
are you okay with like slavery too, since God allows slavery?
God condoned slavery in Exodus 21:16. The only reason He allowed it is because they were sacrificing and doing altars to false gods and having false plagues.
So God allowed slavery because people were sacrificing to idols?
Because they were wicked. Correct.
It says in Exodus 21 you can sell your daughter as a slave.
Yeah, that was under the Old Testament.
Does that mean your daughter's wicked?
We're not under the Old Testament. We're under the New Testament.
So
if you try to sell your daughter right now, what do you think's going to happen?
We live in America.
Exactly.
It's not going to go well.
Not going to go
this
well,
is the book.
Back in the day, there was different laws.
Okay, so according to the book, what's bad about it?
Nothing.
Oh, damn. Well, it's almost like God just murders babies and says you can sell your daughter as a slave. Like,
I mean, God
seems like a horrible God and a horrible religion to me. Is what it sounds like.
I mean, who's going to tell God what he can, what can't do? He's God.
Me? I'm saying this is horrible of God.
Well, I mean, that's an opinion, but it's not going to stop God being God. You know.
Well, yeah, it's my opinion that murdering babies and selling your daughter as a slave is very, very evil.
Well, what does that have to do with him being God, though?
It don't have nothing to do with him being God. It just means he's an evil, unjust, cruel, and evil God.
Well, it's just an opinion, so yeah, I mean, I guess.
Well, like I said, it's my opinion.
No,
that murdering innocent babies is bad. That selling people as slaves, as owning slaves, is bad. So, like, I would think as a Christian, you being the moral, objective, righteous crowd, that y'all wouldn't be okay with this kind of stuff.
No, God gives us.
I'm just a heathen, and I think this is atrocious.
He gives us eternal peace, man. If you surrender, you know. But I gotta go, man. I gotta go get some firewood, bro. God bless.
Oh yeah.
Yo, what up, my dog? What's good?
Wow. All right. The Lord is sending the powerful ones today, isn't he? All right. Well, who's next here? Let's try. Maybe Josh was next. All right. Let's see. Let's try. Maybe TJ was next, I think. TJ, you there?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, sir? You over 18?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Are you one of the Christians or Hebrew Israelites?
I'm a Christian.
Cool, man. So which one of these topics you want to talk with us about?
I want to talk about how number 3, where it says Jesus fulfills zero prophecy.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good one. So, I say that because if you actually read all the prophecies that the New Testament is claiming that he's fulfilling, that actually contextually they don't have nothing to do with Jesus, and he doesn't fit them in the actual context of the prophecies. Like, for example, do you think Jesus fulfilled a prophecy about riding a donkey into Jerusalem?
See, that one, for me, that one's kind of like up for debate, because like But like the ones that I like to look at, like when I first saw that, was him talking to the disciples at the dinner, saying that he would be killed or unalive. Sorry, don't want to get you banned. And that's a prophecy which is ended up being true. And as he predicts or prophesizes that Peter's going to deny him 3 times. And
all this was written after the fact, right?
it could be written after, but
Well, if it was written after the fact, then it's not much of a predictive power because hindsight allows them to write that, and they still don't get it right.
But how?
You want to hear a prophecy he makes that don't happen?
I would love to hear it.
So in Matthew chapter 10, 16, and 24, he explicitly tells the disciples that the end of the age, the second coming is going to happen in their lifetime, and that clearly didn't happen.
I mean, that's one prophecy, but
It's an unfulfilled prophecy. And according to Deuteronomy 18, if a prophet speaks in the name of the Lord and it don't happen, they are a false prophet. And they're supposed to be put to unalivement, which Jesus was.
So what you're saying is that all the entire Bible is just false.
Well, it has a lot of failed prophecies in it. So if prophecy's failing from the main prophets of God, then God should have no credibility because his prophets aren't even getting the prophecies right. But there's a whole lot of problems with this. There's major contradictions. All kind of stuff. It gets history wrong. It gets its own theology wrong. It gets science wrong. It gets biology wrong. There is nothing at all that is special about this book. Nothing. The Quran's written better than this. And that's sad to say.
All right. Well, I'll let somebody else come up because I saw the list and everything, so I just don't want to hold up anybody's time. So have a nice day and hope you can help people.
Well, I'll do what I can. All right, then. All right. Ye Cross Legends. All right, Ye Cross, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Are you over 18?
Yes, 39.
Awesome. Are you one of the Christians?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Cool. So which one of these topics you want to talk with us about today?
Okay, you said God is cruel, unjust, and evil.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to. Which God are you referring to when you say
The
God
God of
is
the Bible.
cruel? Okay. Now, is the presupposition that God is the creator of heaven and earth and created all things?
Yeah, we can assume that.
Okay. So, by which measure of justice are you calling him unjust? By your justice or by his justice?
By both. He fails both standards. He makes a standard in the Bible that he fails, but also just fails my standard as well. But I saw you drop down there, bud. Just request back up if that was an accident. I don't know what happened there.
Okay, I'm back here.
There you are. Yeah, did you hear what I said?
Okay, yes. You said, so you're saying God's justice fails by his standards and by your standards. But you see, your standards don't, no, your standards actually don't count. You know, the reason is it's like a program.
Okay, well, let's not count mine and we'll use God's standards. How
Okay,
about
let's
that?
use
He'll
God's
fail that
standards.
too.
That's perfect.
Okay. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth is justice to God, right?
Okay, it's not the only standard. Let me show you.
Well, I'll give you some more, but you're gonna have to just roll with me for a second. An eye for an eye, that's God's standard, right? That's say if you give an eye or you take an eye, you have your eye taken, right? And that's justice. Right. Stick up and out there. Pastor person, if you're still there, I was about to bring you up there. Yeah, they always try the it's your opinion thing. So, well, that's why I'm using the biblical standard too, because he can't even pass his own standards. I think that person had a really, really bad signal. I don't know what happened there. Let's try. Oh, No Degree's back. Let's stop here. What's up, No Degree?
Nothing much. I just saw that you were live, so I figured I would just join to see what the discussion was about.
No, same old, same old. Guy was just asking me how God feels, how he's unjust, and I said he fails the Bible standards of justice and my standards. So,
Well, I would you say that atheists, because from my experience, atheists, I think, give the Bible a lot of unfair criticisms. So would you agree with that? Because from my perspective, what I see is people claiming the Bible teaches things that don't, or claiming Christianity holds to certain things that don't. There seem to be a lot of straw man and
well, maybe some people do
misrepresentation.
that, but I'm just reading the book right now.
So when you read the book and you see a passage about, say, slavery, about what a slave can and what you can and can't do with your slave, do you interpret that as an advocating for owning people as property and things like that?
Yeah, as long as you're in those guidelines, it's a regulation of an industry, but it's condoning it. So,
well, when you say condoning, it just means simply allow, because condone usually means to allow and accept an immoral behavior to continue. But you wouldn't say that the Bible is teaching that as some sort of immoral behavior, would you?
No, the Bible thinks slavery's fine. Like, God's fine with slavery. I think it's immoral, and that's why I think it fits the definition of the word condone. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying it wouldn't if the Bible doesn't think it's immoral, because the definition would imply that.
Oh, well, I mean,
allow
I'm sure the Bible's fine with slavery. Yeah.
Yeah, so then you couldn't say it condones it, because condone would be to allow and accept an immoral, what's considered immoral behavior to continue. The Bible wouldn't consider that an immoral behavior. So condone wouldn't be the right.
So if you use a circular argument and you say the Bible don't think it's immoral, so it's not, then yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm a circular argument.
I'm just saying by the way the word the definition of condone is. So I think it'd be better to say whether or not the Bible endorses it or whether or not the Bible considers it good.
Well, I mean, it's fine with child sex slavery too. That doesn't mean it's not immoral to everybody else. Like saying it's okay because the Bible says it's okay is just a circular argument. It's not.
See, that would be what I would consider a misrepresentation of the Bible. Not giving what would be considered a okay with sex slavery. I don't think the Bible is teaching that sex slavery is okay.
Oh, it sure does.
I would beg to differ.
You want me to read it to you?
Sure. Yeah.
No. Just
because my position is that there's misrepresentations of the Bible, and it's trying to say it's teaching something that it's not necessarily teaching.
I mean, that's fine if you can show that, but it seems to be
I think I could make a case for it, but the reason why I think atheists give the Bible a bad rap is they wouldn't accept my reasoning, but then they probably would accept that reasoning if it were coming from somewhere else. Let's say if a Muslim was explaining what the Quran says, I think they'd be more apt to listen to what the Muslim is saying about the Quran versus what the Christian is saying about the Bible.
Well, it just depends. Or a Jewish when you read words that say X is okay and a Christian says that's not what it means, then then you just have a problem here because it doesn't
Well,
say
sure, if a
what you're saying.
Christian,
It says the opposite of what it's actually saying.
if a Christian, if yeah, if it said X is okay, and the Christian says, well, it's not really saying X is okay. Yeah, I'd disagree with the Christian there. But what
Oh,
I'm saying
okay.
is,
So
I
we
don't
can
think
just read
that's,
here where it's
I don't
clearly
think that's what's
okay with
going on.
taking child sex slaves.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. Now therefore, unalive every male among the little ones, and unalive every woman who has known a man by sleeping with him. But all the young girls who have not known a man by sleeping with him, keep alive for yourselves. This is Moses clearly saying, all the young virgins, keep them for yourselves.
Okay, but you think that that is advocating for sex slavery? I don't. That's the difference.
What do you think they was doing with them?
Well, I don't think it's necessarily the case that they're even having sex with them at all.
Why?
It may be the case that some of them, when they brought them, maybe at some point, a Hebrew man married one of them, and of course they did this. But I don't think Moses.
So they married a child virgin and didn't have relations with them.
I'm not saying they married them even when they took them. It says just take them for yourselves, just like it would say take the donkeys and the mules for yourself. You don't think they're having sex with
after
donkeys
they
and mules,
murder all the males and all the females who have known a man by sleeping, they're killing all of them.
Sure.
And they're keeping the virgins alive, right?
But do you know why it specifically they unalive the women?
Because God's giving to them as war plunder. God is perfectly fine with taking women and children as captives in war plunder.
He gives more than just that, because he specifically says this because it was the women who were not virgins who had enticed the Hebrew men into committing adultery and worship.
Well, that's true too, but this is rules of warfare. In Deuteronomy it says, when the Lord your God gives it into your hand, you shall put all its males to the sword. You may, however, take as your plunder the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the town. God is perfectly fine with taking children as captives and slaves.
But you're saying that's advocating for sex slavery. I'm saying it's not.
It is. It's the very
next
I
don't
passage
think it is.
talks about war brides. It says if you see a beautiful woman among the captives and you desire them, it's literally saying to take them.
But you're assuming here that there's some sort of this is some sort of sexual gratification.
It is. And why would it be anything else?
Because I've seen other passages in the Bible where it's not where that's not the case. So I don't know.
What about these passages though?
Well, what you're doing is doing what's known as a presentism fallacy. You're interpreting Scripture based on what modern society would do and think, and that's where the fallacy comes in.
Well, I'm saying it's wrong now, and it was wrong then, is what I'm saying. It's
but you're saying it's wrong now because you think that this is an advocating for sex slavery, and I don't believe it is.
Well, it definitely is, and you haven't given me a good reason to think it's not. You're just saying
I could give you some examples of where women, even foreign women, actively sought out to become part of the Hebrew nation, and you could even call them captives, but it wasn't necessarily the case that they were slaves or being raped or anything like that.
Okay, but you're still just dodging the passage where that seems to be implied here.
But if there's passages like that in the Bible, then why would you just assume this passage is?
Because it contradicts itself all the time.
Well, that's not a contradiction. If it's the case that the author was not intending on saying, you know what, I'm going to advocate for sex slavery here, I don't think that's what's going on in the author's mind.
I think it is. Because it's clearly distinguishing young virgins among the males and putting the rest to the sword. And here it's saying you can definitely take women and children as your war captives, and you can marry them if you want.
Yeah, but I think the reason
you brought up the marriage thing in the other one.
Yeah, what I'm saying here is I think that the reason why it's doing this, it already gave the reason, because the non-virgin women were actively seducing and causing the Hebrew men to worship false gods. And you wouldn't.
So the virgins weren't guilty of that, though, right? The virgin children.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So God's not punishing it, and there's some views on why God had them unalive the men, obviously because they could rise up and attack them, and the boys. There's views on that. The Bible doesn't specify why, but there's the views that, I mean, we even see in common culture today where certain countries that hate the West will even use their own young children to fight against and unalive people in the West simply for being Westerners. So I believe that God had a reason
So two
to
wrongs make a
wipe
right.
all them. I don't think it's wrong.
So two wrongs
Hey,
make a right.
Edwards, hold on. Nobody knows.
I don't
what
think
are
I
you
don't
over
think it's
18?
wrong. I
Hold on,
think
hold
it's
on,
more than
please.
justified.
Let's stop. Just stop talking for a second. Edward, are you over 18?
I'm over 18.
Are you a Christian?
I am not a Christian.
Oh, okay. Well, we're just looking to talk to Christians
All
right
right.
now, man.
Yeah,
Just
but what?
confusing the conversation when you jump in.
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
see what I'm saying here is you're making what's known as a presentism fallacy, where
So
you're
how is it a
basically just
fallacy?
because what you're saying is because of the perverted, over sexualized society that we live in today with porn and all of this stuff, what you're assuming is because it's saying keeping the young virgins for yourself means, oh, they want to do this so they can have sex with them, even though the Bible makes clear rules and guidelines about marriage and things like this as well. So
So where's there a
basically,
clear guideline that says those children weren't slept with?
well, there's that. You know what that is? That's another fallacy you're making. That's called the exact word fallacy. So basically, what you're saying here is
You
because it
just said
doesn't
there was clear passages that.
about marriage. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
one
So they
man,
don't
one
have
woman.
nothing to do with Numbers 31.
So yeah, so what I'm saying here is just because they're saying keep the virgins for yourself, and you're just reading into that, oh, because they just want to have sex with virgins.
Okay, so give me a good reason to read something else.
Because in the Bible, that's why when a woman has sex, it's kind of viewed as lessening her value. So
If
there
she's a
wouldn't be a
virgin,
reason
yeah,
to just do that.
the
Yeah.
value is in their virginity.
And then
Yeah.
you're not supposed to divorce them. There's passages forbidding you to divorce them if you do certain things. So what I'm saying here is, if it's the
No,
case that
there's
these men,
not.
yes, there is. I mean,
You're saying there's a lot of verses
Deuteronomy
that say a lot of
22, this
things,
is one of the passages y'all claim advocate for grape because you have, I think the word is,
yeah, that says
yeah,
if you seize a woman who is a virgin, you have to pay her father the fine because you
and
damaged the goods that her father
yeah, what I'm
owns,
saying
the
here is
virginity.
that,
And you can
and
never
it,
divorce them. This doesn't
exactly,
say if you
yeah.
take a woman captive, you can never divorce
So
her. That
under
is a
the,
penalty for a
yes,
crime
it
of
actually
rape
does say
and
that.
stealing virginity.
It actually does say that. You read the passage just a few minutes ago where you're talking about if she has to mourn for a certain, you see a beautiful woman among captives, she
Yeah, a
mourns for a
war
certain amount of,
captive who you marry, she has
and then
no choice in the matter.
and
It
then
is
what
rape.
happens?
It is
It
forced
says
marriage. She is a
it's,
captive
and you cannot sell her to a foreign nation or anything like that.
because you
Uh,
have dishonored her.
that's what I'm saying here. You're helping me out here.
Yeah, it's
What I'm saying here is
acknowledging you're
that,
dishonoring her, and
yeah.
it's still letting you do it.
So what I'm saying here is just to say, oh, well, they just wanted to have these virgins to keep for themselves. Okay, well, maybe it's the case some of them wanted to marry some of them virgins. There is this idea
Yeah,
here that these virgins because they become wives, they have certain rights as a wife that you're not supposed to withhold from them. So it's
you
not
can force
advocating for
them
grape.
to marry you as children. That
You can
is
force. What are you?
great. They have no
What are
choice
you
in the
doing? Just
matter.
making up passages now?
No, I've read them to you.
Yeah, there's no passage that says you can that what you just said in the Bible.
We literally just read them.
No, you didn't. Not what you just said.
Yes, we did. We are
No,
talking
we
about
didn't.
one right
You're
now
talking
from
about Numbers
Deuteronomy
31.
22.
You're talking about Deuteronomy 22 does not say
You
you
brought
can
this up
force.
about taking a war captive and making her
Yeah,
bride.
you
You're
said
saying it's good
forcing them
because
to
you
marry
can't
them as
divorce
children.
them.
Forcing them to marry them as children. It
Yeah.
doesn't say that.
War captives, yes. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't say they're even
Yes, it
children there.
does.
No, it doesn't. Read
Does it
Read
say
it
they're
out
all
loud.
adults of legal marriage age?
Again, that's an
Female
exact
captives.
word.
Okay,
That's
I'm
an
going to read it out
exact
loud.
word
When you go out to
fallacy.
war against your
You're
enemy
making
and the
another
Lord
fallacy.
gives them over, when you go out to war against your enemies and the Lord your God hands them over to you and you take them captive. So
Yeah.
we're talking about captives that God has
Yep.
given you, right?
Yep.
God's given
Mhm.
people captives.
Yep.
Suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman whom you desire and want to marry, and so you bring her to your house. She shall
Yep.
shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garb, and remain in your house a full month, mourning her mother and father. And after that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she
Yep.
shall be your wife. But if
Mhm.
you are not satisfied with her, you shall let her go free, and certainly not sell her for money. You must not treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her.
There you go.
There
you're
you
not-
go.
you're not
Do you
keeping
know
her
what
as a
dishonored
slave.
means?
Yeah, he
Do you know what
had-
dishonored means?
Yes, he basically she's viewed because she's been married and engaged in sexual activities. She's been viewed as
Wow.
dishonored because
Who's
he
the
has
fallacy man here? This
he
is
has
crazy.
he has divorced her or whatever.
You're
That's what would be
forcing
dishonor.
her to marry you.
Okay, well look,
When the Lord your God gives you captives, you may, however, keep the women, the
Yeah.
children, the
And you're
livestock,
assuming-
and everything. It's saying you can take
You're
women
assuming
and
his
children
force,
as
right?
captives, and if you see a beautiful woman among them,
Yeah.
you can force them to marry you. You can force them
doesn't
into
say
your
that.
bed, and then if you don't like them, it says
You're
turn them loose
adding
for free because
force
you
to
dishonored
it.
them.
Yeah, it doesn't say force there.
Sir, can captives
Are you just
in war
interpreting it as
consent?
force? Yes.
Can
I can give you an example in the
Bullshit!
Bible.
You
I'll
are
give you an
full of
example.
shit.
I'll give you an
You're
example in
bullshit.
the Bible. You want me to give you an example?
No. I want you to tell me in this.
I'm going to
these
give you an
passages
example
here
in the
Deuteronomy where it says a
Of a
captive can
captive
consent.
consenting. Well, that's again
To
the
marriage?
exact word fallacy.
It's
I'm just
what?
I'm just
It's
trying to
what
give you.
it says.
Okay, look. If you know who Rahab the prostitute was, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Now, would you describe Jericho as having been destroyed and
Wait,
by the
maybe I
Israelites?
don't know who that is. Is that the one that God got mad at them for not unaliving, even though she's the one that helped them into the city?
No, this was the one who, when they
Oh.
sent out spies, and Rahab, who was not a member of the Hebrews, she was a foreign woman, hid the spies and then helped them get away so that they wouldn't get captured. And then when they came and destroyed Jericho, they took her with them, and she became part of the Hebrew nation. That would be a woman
Yeah,
who.
and then God got really mad because they didn't follow his orders, right?
No, he didn't get mad at Rahab. In fact,
Oh.
Rahab's name is in
Oh,
the
he
lineage
didn't.
of Jesus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so is Ruth, who's
So-
also another foreign woman.
Yeah, maybe you forgot the story. So God tells them to unalive every breathing thing in that city. But Rahab, they leave alive because she helped them. And God gets
Yeah.
mad about that.
No, God blesses Rahab because of that. He doesn't get mad about it. I think you're mixing up that story with something else. In fact, Rahab's name is mentioned in the line of Jesus. So what I'm saying here is that here you have a foreign woman who would have been described as a captive. She was taken by them, who we would say was fully consensual and even participating in this. So it's not necessarily the case
when
that a
these
captive
captives
can't
are
consent.
taken captive in war, when you take people as slaves, as captives, when the Lord your God gives them to you, can they consent or not? I'm not talking
In
about
some
Rahab.
in some cases, yes.
Bullshit.
Maybe not in all. Yeah. I mean, they would have, it wasn't
Okay,
like.
well, let's just say it's even half. Say half of them are permitted to not consent. So there's half of the population that's being taken as captive here that can't consent. So
Well,
they're
I
being
mean-
taken as they can't consent, right?
I mean, sure, maybe they're not taking them as wives, though. I don't know.
This is so dishonest. If you're going to tell me
But
that
here's
captives who are just taken slave after having their family slaughtered can consent, then you're just being dishonest.
do you know
man.
how
That's
many
not- that's so
do you
not
know how
true.
many American soldiers have married foreign women in Vietnam and places like this, places where they took over and took captive, and these women fully consented to
That's
this?
not what we're talking about here.
Okay, I'm
They
saying
can't-
that-
that's not the same
I'm-
thing. We didn't
okay,
take them as slaves.
But you're using modern standards, and so I'm taking a modern
Yeah,
standard and showing you,
I am.
okay, look, there are modern situations of this happening.
right.
so
So
I'm
you
saying-
think this is horrible stuff too, right?
I don't think it's the best thing. No, I think that Jesus Christ showed the best way.
You don't think it's
That's
the
why
best? Well, it's kind of bad, but not really. Like,
I think there's some moral justifications for it, but not always. Like slavery.
well,
I
what
believe
about the
that,
not alwayses?
well, like
Why is there any always in this book from an
if
all-knowing,
you're
all-loving
doing
God?
it on your own through selfish gain, then it would be evil. If you're doing it because God is guiding you
God is
to this,
giving
it
you
would be evil.
captives. You can do with them what you
Sure,
want. God
yeah.
just gave them to you.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it's saying you can do with them what you want, because the Bible
Where does it put regulation on what you can do with them?
Oh, it said where it says, "Do not mistreat a foreigner, for remember you were foreigners in Egypt. Love a foreigner as yourself." Things like this. Do not show injustice to
It
foreigners.
also says you can
Things like
buy
this.
slaves from the foreigners and enslave them when you
Sure.
make war on them. So
Well, it
which
doesn't
one
say
is it?
it doesn't say enslave there. It says you can buy slaves.
Yeah,
Enslave is
captives that you take in war
enslave.
become slaves. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but enslave kind of is man's in the Bible. When the word you see the word enslave or man stealer, it's also or kidnapper. The Bible is against that type of stuff. In fact,
Yeah,
Exodus
it's saying
21:16.
yeah,
Some
it's saying you
people
can't
believe
steal a
is
man.
some people believe Exodus 21:16 is a direct abolition of something like the transatlantic slave trade. It
Yeah,
directly
well, it's not.
abolishes.
That's
Well,
just
it's
saying it's basically the equivalent of saying it's legal to own a car, but it's not legal to steal a car and then own it. That's all it's saying. You can't like steal
well,
somebody else's slave.
it
That's
would be like
manstealing. You can't just
you
grab another Israelite and say you're my slave now. That's what this is
exactly that,
forbidden. But
or a foreigner. Yeah,
you can definitely take captives in war, and you can definitely purchase slaves from the nations that are around
sure.
you, including
Yeah.
the foreigners who are with you and their families who are with you.
Or you could say you could take captives in war. That would be a different type. That would be, you know, like what we do
That's just
today.
how you're obtaining
We
them.
take captives in war today, so it'd just be a
No, we
different type
don't.
of slave. Well, yeah, we do. I mean,
No, well, we can take them captive, but we don't enslave them. We turn them back over. You're not
well, yeah,
supposed to
but when
own
you
them.
what I'm saying is when you take them as captives, they become slaves. Is what I'm saying. They're war captives, slaves in that regard.
No, it's
So,
against the Geneva Convention.
I don't know what you mean by being convinced. I mean, even just as recently as the Iraq War and stuff, we took a lot of Iraqis into custody and
There's a
put them in
difference between
prison.
taking people into custody and then
Yeah, but I'm
making
saying that
slaves of them.
that would be viewed as kind of a slave, you know, that a slave through war. Because in the Bible, it's not really drawing a lot of distinction. The word slave or abed has a wide semantical range in the Bible, so it can be used
Ebed just
in
means
describing.
slave.
No, okay, well, ebed means servant of God. It can be king, could be an
No, it
ebed.
just means slave. It's the Hebrew
No, it
word
doesn't.
for slave.
No, it's not.
Yes, it does.
No, not because
Yes, it
even
is.
even when you look at Isaiah 53, talking about Jacob the servant stuff, you wouldn't call him a slave in that situation. So
It
I'm
doesn't
saying it
say
has a
slave.
wide semantic. Well, it's translated as servant, but the Hebrew words are the same. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't use the word Ebed for servant there.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it does. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I do know that there's a
I
lot
mean,
of
it could,
passages.
but just because that means slave and servant isn't a wide semantical
Okay,
range. They're just
I'll
two
give you
different meanings. Like,
I'll give you a perfect example. So in Genesis, whenever the famine happened and Joseph saved everyone from the famine because of his wisdom, the Egyptians pretty much lost everything they had, and then they said, "We have nothing left. Buy us, and we'll be your servants." But if you look at the Hebrew word there, it's ebed. So essentially, the whole nation of Egypt is begging, asking Joseph to buy them as a slave, and he does this, and then he gives them this their stuff. Gives it,
sorry, Degree. 1 second.
stuff.
Do you remember? Do you know the what website has the? It's like Sophia or something like that. What is that dang website? Can somebody remind me in the comments what the I can't remember the name of it exactly, but I'll look it up. I can read some Hebrew, so I'll be able to see if the
Yeah,
word's
you could
there.
look. I would be interested to
But I
see
can't
when it
remember
says
the.
my servant Jacob, what the Hebrew word there is. If it's my Abed Jacob, because I know that the word Abed, because I've looked at it before, is what's used when the nation of Egypt willingly, practically begs Joseph to buy them.
Safaria, that's
As
it. That's it. Safaria. All
so, what I'm
right.
saying is the word
It's
Abed and the
time.
word Amah, which is the feminine version, both of those have a very wide semantic range in the Bible, especially in the
Alma
Old
just
Testament.
means a young woman.
Well, it also it also can mean a slave, a female slave, a handmaid. So what I'm saying is the range is very wide here. That's why it's important to, I think, read the full context, and that's why I think atheists largely
I don't say the
misrepresent
word
the Bible.
evident here, but hear now, O Jacob, my servant, Israel, whom I have chosen. I don't say the word evident here personally.
Well, you'd have to go to the Hebrew interlinear and see what servant is there.
That's what I meant.
Well, what's the Hebrew word there?
I don't know what they're using for servant, but what I do not see is the word evident here.
Well, yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
gonna
I
go
have to
down
look and
to,
see.
was it
But
18?
I
18
do
says
know
it
that
again in 44.
kings have been described as Evids as well, things like that, and they're not actual slaves at all. They're kings in the Bible. I'd
Well, they
have to
could be.
find the
You could say
specific
they're
passage.
slaves to God, but I mean,
Sure.
but either way, in the
Yeah.
word servant for Israel, I'm not seeing the word evid there in either
Well,
spot in 44.
anyway, that's my position. I think that there's just some uh, gross misrepresentation of the Bible because of a lot of this stuff. And like even Numbers 31. Now, I'll grant to you that when you read Numbers 31, from our modern day perspective, it seems bad. But when you start looking at it more in depth and you start
Yeah,
realizing,
what
well,
makes
why is
that
it the
good?
case?
Tell us.
What makes it good?
Yeah.
Well, I think that these, rather than unaliving them, they get to participate in a nation that
What about
values.
all the ones they did
Up,
unalive? It says they put every young male to the sword, and all the women who
well,
have
I
not
mean,
known a man by slave, they murder all those.
some of the
Like, just
views
brush
are
that
that
aside
these
there.
Some of the views are that these people will grow up, the boys will grow up to try to seek revenge. Now, that's an
Oh
apologetic,
yeah.
admittedly. I mean, I don't necessarily hold to that, but I guess it's a reasonable thing. But uh, it could have there could be something more involved that I'm unaware. Like when, I don't know if you know who Richard or Michael Heiser, he's no longer alive, but he died a few years back. But he's a Christian scholar who studied a lot of this, and his position was when God told him to just wipe out certain areas, just completely annihilate them. He believed that those were areas where the Nephilim lived as well. So God is specifically targeting the Nephilim because He doesn't have them do this in other areas. So there could be more to it than meets the eye. So I just take the Bible and say, look, some of this I don't fully understand, but I can see some moral justification in this. I could see that if we were living
Could you
in the,
morally justify leaving the virgins alive, the young girl virgins?
yeah, imagine you went to Epstein Island and everyone there was participating in this stuff except for them, and you brought them back and kept them alive. Yeah,
So we're comparing
it's
these
not
scriptures
hard
to
to,
Epstein Island now.
well, I'm just saying, if you want to look at trying to give a modern day thing, and that's why I don't think it's real fair to just judge the Bible through the modern lens, because even if you can, we can point out situations. I mean, Epstein Island, and I've actually had a few atheists say this. I don't know if your view has changed, but I've heard people actually say, a couple of atheists actually say, after reading what was going on in those files, I'm no longer going to complain about God wiping out Sodom and Gomorrah or having them or flooding the earth or wiping out the Amalekites because they felt like, okay, now I understand how evil people can be. I'm seeing it firsthand. So I do think that things like that can make people change their positions. But anyway, uh,
Well,
looks like you got
that's
another
neither here nor
guest
there
on
to me,
stage.
but
Well,
yeah, soul
let
and
me get
spirit, you're there, ain't you?
before I leave, I wanted to give you one specific example. Do you know
Okay.
the song "Baby It's Cold Outside"? You ever heard that song? "Baby It's
The
Cold
what?
Outside" is popular in around Christmas.
Oh
Got
yeah,
to
yeah.
be go, baby, it's cold out. Well, so this has been viewed in modern times as what's known as a date grape song because of some of the lyrics in there. And it's been that people had advocated to have it taken off the radio. This song is only about 71 or 72 years old. When this song originally came out, the irony is this song was about women's liberation. It wasn't a day. And so just within 70 years, we've judged a 72-year-old song using the presentism fallacy by saying now this is a date grape song, because at one point he says, say, what's in this drink? And, because she's mesmerized by the love of this guy. So she thinks there's some sort of magic potion in the drink. But she's also doesn't want her family to judge her for spending the night with him. But she's questioning the traditional views and things like this because she really loves this guy. Now this is viewed as a date grape song. Totally changed everything. It went from just being a fun, innocent song where a woman's questioning these things, what's her parents going to think, all this and that, to now she's being date raped, and it's a endorsement of date rape just within
Well, I
72
got you, but
years.
this whole
Yeah.
argument, I understand what you're trying to say, but this whole argument gets rendered invalid when you say that you're talking about an all-knowing, all-powerful, timeless God who never changes.
Well, I don't know why that would change it, but anyway, we could have that
It would
discussion
change it because if
another
God
time.
doesn't change, then it doesn't matter if this was yesterday or 10,000 years ago. It was the same difference
Well,
from the same God that never changes.
yeah, I'm not saying that morals have changed here.
Yeah, it's people that change.
It's our
Yeah,
perception and how we act and how our society
yeah,
laws
but did
change.
God change?
No, I mean,
Okay, so
grape
God
was
thought this was fine 10,000 years ago, so God don't change. He thinks it's fine now, too.
Yeah, it's people that think there's something wrong with it.
what I'm saying here, like for example, in Deuteronomy 22:25-27, the grapist is put to unalignment for graping the woman. But today we don't have death penalties for grape.
Today we
Now,
don't do that.
does that mean that grape is all of a sudden okay now? Because we don't, no, it just simply we just have set different approaches now. The Bible put
I don't
grapists to
think it was
death.
okay
We don't
ever.
today. Yeah, but what I'm saying is the punishment. We don't put them
The
to
punishment's
unalignment.
irrelevant. In the punishment for everything is death in Christianity.
Well, see, that's what
whether you steal a
these
candy
laws.
bar or unalive 6 million people, it's the same penalty. That's why
What I'm
it's
saying is, like,
kind of silly.
theoretically, you
No,
could
it's
still
not.
morally justify buying a foreigner today, but you might be doing something. You might be breaking a law and you still might be sinning against God, or might not necessarily be sinning against God. Like if I were in
You
India
wouldn't be
and
sinning
I
against
were,
God because God never forbids it. You might be
well,
breaking
you could
American
be,
current law, but you wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a
yeah,
sin because
which could be,
it's not a
According to
crime
how you
to
treat your
take
slave.
slaves in the Bible.
yeah. Like you could, like for me, I mean, if let's imagine you were a rich businessman in India right now, and you had the opportunity to buy a person
I don't know how
and
to imagine that, but
get them out of sex slavery, and then you bought them and brought them to America, or you brought them to your house, but you didn't want to set them free because you knew that they'd end up right back into it because there's people out there wanting to force them back into it. So you kind of keep them
sounds
and
like you
say,
bought
well,
slaves and then made up reasons not to sell them.
okay, but I'm saying here is there could be a morally justified reason for it because you don't want them to end up in that situation again.
Sure,
And
but that's
maybe you
what
even
makes
marry
morals
them.
all subjective. Yeah, but you're
No,
saying
that
this is
doesn't
from
make the
an
morals subjective.
objective God's stance.
The objective standard would be to still love your neighbor, to love God and love your neighbor. But the
We
way
have a
that
problem
might look,
disconnecting people from God.
yeah, that might look very different in how you operate in one
You,
society versus another
Soul and
based on
Spirit,
laws. That's what I'm
you
saying.
was a Christian, wasn't you? I've talked to you before. I know, but
Well, yeah, it sounds like you take people to be like God or something, like they're the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to
Are
go
you a
anyway.
Christian, Soul and Spirit?
So y'all have a good one.
Have a good one, No Degree. Thanks for coming up, buddy. Soul and Spirit, you're a Christian, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've talked to you before. All right,
yeah.
what was you
Everything
saying?
God
Say
does
again?
is good. I think humans are, stupid and mean. You know what I'm saying?
So
Evil.
you think it was good that God allowed people to own slavery, right?
Yeah, yeah. People need someone to tell them what to do because they're stupid. Don't even know how to live on their.
Right. So us stupid people need God to tell us that slavery's okay, right?
Yeah, the stupid people that can't understand, like, logic and stuff. Yeah, it's easier just to tell them straight out, like, you're a slave. Deal with it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. So was it good when God murdered
slave,
David and
slave.
Bathsheba's infant son?
Say it one more time.
Was it good when God murdered David and Bathsheba's infant son?
Yeah, that was good. That's what was
And it
owed to
good
them.
when he said you could sell your slave or sell your
But when you
daughter
go
as
to
a
work,
slave?
when you go to work, you want to get paid your payment, right? That's the wages of
Yeah,
sin.
when you sell your
Is
daughter
death.
as a slave, you want your payment
Yeah,
for
the
that
wages
too,
of
right?
sin is death. Romans 6:23, the wages of sin. That's your wages. You're getting paid for all the work you've done with your hands. That's the wages you're getting paid. The wages
Right.
of sin is death. You see how it
Right.
works?
So it's good. It's good when you sell your daughter as a slave, right?
Are you not hearing me?
Are you hearing me?
I said the wages of sin is death.
Yeah, I heard you, but selling your daughter as a slave isn't a sin. It's allowed. It's not a sin.
So did they die whenever they sold their daughter into slavery?
I don't know. They sold them as property.
You
So
don't even know the
somebody
story.
can
Okay,
build their
so who cares?
What story? The story from Exodus 21? It's not a story, it's a law. It says you can sell your daughter as a slave.
Okay. So what?
Okay, so you think that's good, right?
Yeah, I think that's good. If that's what people want to do
Oh,
with their
there you go.
daughters, then I mean, hey, who am I to say what? Not my daughters.
No, he's not a troll. I've talked to him before. Yeah, they're calling you a troll because you're being so blatantly like evil right now.
They're not used to someone
Just
telling
a
them
really
the
crappy
truth,
person.
how the world actually is. They're used to someone protecting
They should
them.
be
Like,
used to it because we have people come up here every day and say slavery and selling your daughter's okay, like you. This is what you get when you join Christianity. You get to sell your daughter as a slave, and
yeah,
that's
you can't.
perfectly
It don't
fine.
even matter to the world. You can just say, you know what, world? You don't know shit.
Right,
All the people
right,
in it, you don't know shit. Fucking dumb. You can say
right.
that.
So it was also a good
No,
thing. Yeah. So
Can
it
you
was
say
also a
that?
good thing when God had these kids of Saul impaled on the hill before him. Right.
Yes, sir. That was a beautiful thing. A lot of lessons
Man,
learned
you
that
are
day.
clip gold. Oh, I hear you.
A lot of lessons learned that day. I
And
learned some stuff that day.
and
I'm
if a
telling you.
priest and if a priest's daughter is up to sexual promiscuity, then it's okay to set her on fire while she's alive, right?
As long as she's screaming.
Holy shit. Yeah, you're getting dropped on that one, buddy, but thanks for perfectly demonstrating the current level of Christianity. I almost wish they would have made me take another day off now after hearing this shit. And yeah, there was a ton of people calling him a troll, but he's definitely not. I've talked to him before a couple times. Not a troll, just a shit ass person there. It's a very poor character of a person there. But then again, if you're gonna sit here and say everything God does is good, he's right on. He's been perfectly accurate with the biblical text here. God says this stuff's good, and it's good. It's that simple, really. Oh, boy, oh boy. Well, I thought I had another person. I tried to bring him up, but it didn't hang around, I don't think. God is good. especially when he's allowing you to sell your daughter as a slave, as per Exodus 21. Right, Battle Rapper? Right? Anyway, the box is empty for the first time today. It's been an awesome day. It's been an awesome day back. By the way, I got banned for almost 3 days because I used harsh language about a fictional character from a TV show, which actually kind of makes sense because the second worst reprimand I've ever got from TikTok, I was talking about a video game character. But they don't like it when you talk about people, even if they are fictional characters. All right. Devil's Advocate, you are not a Christian. Durango is not a Christian either, I don't think. I think there's 2 accidents there, sorry. Thought we had some requests up, but they are accidental, I suspect. Anyway, I am back now, and what a day it's been so far. Oh, shit. I'm getting a harsh reminder of why I need to be here every damn day. Oh, I keep getting false alarms there, sorry. Anyway, if you are a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite, I've still got slightly over an hour I can be on today, so maybe even a little longer if it gets really juicy. But man, what a Sabbath it's been so far. We are getting the best out here today. It's a pleasure to be in the presence of God. Hey, it would be a pleasure if you came up on stage and explained some of that stuff to us. I don't know. Dr. Josh on Saturdays he's usually not here very much on Saturdays, I don't think. Sometimes Sundays, but he's way more active during the week. He's probably doing stuff with his family and stuff. Like, he's famous and he's got a whole bunch of kids, so so he's probably busy today. We do love him though. God, we love that man. Let's see. All right. Well, if you are a Christian or Hebrew Israelite, come on up and talk with us. The queue, the guest queue is open for the first time so far today. We've already been on for over an hour, so what an action-packed hour it's been so far. You can't explain water to a fish that doesn't know what air is. Is that what Christians do? Explain stuff to fish? I guess. I don't know. Tell it to a fish, buddy. Remember that fish that Jonah lived in for 3 days? Anyway, if you are a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite, please come on up and talk to us. Our ban didn't affect the algorithm too bad. Doesn't seem, so that's pretty cool. I thought we might be a little more restricted today, but we have not been, so that's cool. That's cool. And, wow, what a day so far. What a day so far. We've met some extraordinary humans today. Extraordinarily evil, I think. Oh, Jesus, lifts weights. Do we have a spammer here? I guess. Hold on. Anyway, the algorithm is still moving a little bit, so I'm sure we'll get somebody else to talk to in here. So yes, the Christian position must be that God gave people laws that not a single person is apparently even capable of keeping. So to fix the problem he created, he did a human sacrifice ritual and took away sin altogether. That makes no sense at all. That's one of the silliest stories I've ever heard. Even though I used to believe it. Oh my goodness, though. What an action-packed hour that was. My goodness. I was doing a mental recap there in my head for a second, and it was Golly, we'll have a lot of clipping to do. Oh, holy crap. Holy crap. People are scary. Imagine people this morally bankrupt and this mentally indoctrinated with a religious fervor, the damage that they will do to other humans. Like, tell me Christianity ain't dangerous. Like, what in the world? Hello, greetings from America. Not too proud to call myself an American at the moment, but, you know, we have some qualities that are okay, I guess, I suppose. Anyway, Christians or Hebrew Israelites, come on up. Come on up. Maybe the algorithm slowed down some. It was crazy earlier. There was a ton of people in the queue to talk to. Now it's dry. It's been dry for a minute, so it's not unusual to have to wait a minute, though. So not these days, anyway. Thank you. I am doing pretty well. Got a nice little mental recharge from the 2-day ban I got for speaking harshly of a fictional TV show character. I guess TikTok didn't know it was what it was or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, we're back, and it's been one of the wildest first hours I've had in all these streams here. It's pretty wild. Not to say we haven't had other wild ones, but today was like Clip City, man. Slavery's okay. Baby murder's okay. Babies are guilty. They're not innocent. So the Christians are putting their religion on full display here. Full display. Full horrifying display. Oh boy, that was rough, man. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll give it till 10 o'clock my time, which is 5 more minutes. And if the algo don't jump again and we get somebody in here to talk to you, we'll stay. If not, we'll do a quick reset. Gotta make it easier to definitely doing some clips on that insanity. Yikes. Yeah, I was we was talking about that show Preacher, and TikTok, I think, used which I did use a kind of a bad word, but I was referring to the character on the show, and Live immediately got taken down, and I was banned for 2 days for I guess it supposed I was talking to another person or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, we'll give it another few minutes, see if we get somebody to talk to. If not, we'll do a quick reset, because, man, today has been wild so far. We gotta... Then again, I usually don't stay on this late on Saturdays anyway. Saturdays are really hit and miss, so it's actually been a really, really good show for a Saturday. Especially starting a little later, too, which I did because my band didn't officially end until 8:40, but I'm usually on by like 7:30 or 8, so... But yeah, I still got a little while, so if we don't get somebody in the next 2 or 3 minutes here, we'll do a little reset. You say the Bible is the law. Yeah, no, the kid ain't. I can't tell if people are just saying incredibly wrong shit sometimes, or they're just being weird bots. Like, article 4 of the Bible. Like, What? Oh my goodness. Oh, people are funny. Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you? It's been one of the wildest hours ever so far. We've been almost 6 minutes without somebody to talk to you. So here in a second, we'll do a quick reset if we don't have somebody here in the next 2 minutes or so. Because the algorithm was going pretty wild. Now it's slowed down a little bit now. But it is still moving. But we still got a little while, so we need another good convo in here to got to refill the day here for sure. Man, how wild was that first hour though? It was yikes. Yikes. The Lord sent his best this morning. Anyway, about a minute to go. If we don't get somebody in the next minute, we'll hit up a reset, I suppose. Even though the algorithm is still moving a little bit, just not that much. I don't know, I feel like if we hang out for a second, we'll get somebody to talk to. But then again, I'm just back, so I'm kind of impatient too. Especially after that firework of a first hour we had. There was a bunch of people in the box there. Thank you, Mattias. Appreciate that. All right. Well, action-packed hour. First hour. Marcus, are you a Christian who wants to talk about one of these topics? You can just touch one of those boxes. Just touch that request box over there on the side, and it brings you up. Or let me know in the comments if you, I guess I can invite you. Oh, okay, yeah, we're just looking to debate Christians, man. Well, just looking to debate Christians. I'm about to do a reset anyway. We just hit our little limit there in my welcome back, and patience is not strong today. So, all right, so y'all hang out. We'll be back in like, I don't know, what, like 30 seconds. So I'm gonna do a quick reset, and then we'll come right back. Here we go.